horoscope for the week of June 27th, walking us into the first couple days of July 2022 as well. So want to get us set for what's coming up for this beautiful new moon. We're at the new moon, this beautiful new moon week that we're going to be experiencing. But before we jump in, I want to let some of you come in, and I'm saying hello, hello, hello. Hopefully you guys are doing well out there. We're going to turn this off for just a minute while we are recording. All right, you guys, first and foremost, keep in mind that this week we will be together in the YouTube Academy rewatching the class from Kathy Rose on the hemisphere analysis. So make sure that you are checking that out. And especially if you're someone who's been practicing already and you're looking to add something else to your toolbox, whenever we're doing charts and it's taking a long time, you're spending a long time peeling through charts, hemisphere emphasis is a really nice trick and technique that you can use to gather a lot of information quite quickly as to kind of the temperament and some of the energy and themes that are already going to be showing up in your native's chart. So whether you are new or you've been practicing for a while, go back, watch the class. Kathy Rose is absolutely a gem. And then she will be back July 6th live with us at the YouTube Academy to answer questions and also do some further demonstration of the hemisphere emphasis. And I do use this in my practice. I use this in how I teach. I use this in how I read. So if you are also already using hemisphere emphasis, let me know in the chat box or in the comment section down below. All right, so you guys can tell we're in a little bit of a different location this week. So I'm recording and coming live to you this week from Tucson, Arizona. So it is hot. We got in the car the other day and it was 122 degrees. Like, that is unreasonable. I'm from Colorado. We don't have anything like 122 degrees. So all the Arizona peeps, I don't know how you're living your best lives, but it turns out many of you are doing it. So thanks for having us to your beautiful state. Now, if you are watching this back and you normally love that I have the aspects on the side, you can click in the description box down below and I will make sure that all of the aspects are down there and a little description of how you can use that in addition to the video as well, okay? All right, hello everybody. So let's jump in here and talk about what's going on this week starting on June 27th. Now, one of the aspects that we're coming into the week with, which you may already have been feeling throughout the weekend, is that we're actually coming in with Mercury in a sextile to Chiron, and then later in a day, transiting Mars will also be in a sextile to Saturn that is retrograde. Now, while these are both beautiful sextiling energies to bring us into the week, we know that they're creating a pocket of ease, but also a pocket of opportunity so we can actually do something with them. So this is fantastic energy to know that we're coming in with a little bit of ease at the beginning of the week, and then Tuesday we'll walk right into that new moon energy. So as you're coming in on Monday and you're experiencing this Mercury Chiron sextile, what it creates is this pocket of opportunity for you to utilize to talk out what's been going on for you. Talk out, say it out loud, make decisions. Watch yourself make decisions with your new identity. Remember, Chiron has been translating. Yes, has also been translating as well as transiting through the energy of Aries. So this is a lot about the wound of the identity, and we've done a lot of work on that to be healed. So we're working with a current identity. And even if you're working through what it means to have this current identity and who you are today, what does your life really look like, talking it out with someone else and giving yourself space to hear the reality of who you are is really what this energy will help you do, which is great because when we get later in the day and we have Mars in a sextile to that Saturn, first of all, this is an energy of oomph, of power. You've got action, you've got activity, you've got change of direction and movement in your favor, but what you're making decisions on are past things, right? Saturn is retrograde, so you're looking back over structures that you've been building since December of 2021, and now you've come forward with them all the way till May of 2022. So what are you going back over that you now need to apply a new identity, current circumstances and reality and truths, but you can take action on them with that in your pocket. So I'll be interested to know in the comment section, What are these structures you're going back over? What have you needed endurance and persistence to stick with? And for some of you, I wonder, have you been spending this last few weeks feeling like there's something you are holding on to, or you're holding on to the way that it was, and you're feeling like, oh, I kind of feel like I should be changing some things, but I'm not quite sure what action I should take yet? This is a nice revelation of energy and of decisions if you will talk it out with someone else and see if what you're thinking is actually along the right track, okay? Because remember, Mars is in Aries, and that is an impulsive placement, so you do not want to be writing any checks that your hiney can't cash, but you also want to be using the movement available to you. Now, as we're rolling into Tuesday's energy, Tuesday is our big, busy energy of the week, so you might have a lot of shifting going on, but ultimately it's quite positive. Neptune is stepping into its retrograde early in the day in the energy of Pisces. So it's stepping into its retrograde in a sign that it is comfortable in. As Neptune retrogrades, where we used to have this space where you can kind of daydream, and we're used to having that space to step into, or you can just spend all day scrolling on TikTok or getting lost in the woods, any of these kinds of dreamy energies, we lose access to that. Instead, it's like reality is reality. Right? And what you're going to be looking over during Neptune's retrograde is your ideals. Am I in alignment with the ideals that are guiding my life, my business, my marriage, my parenting? And you get concrete. There's nothing to soften it. So you're going to see, yes, I'm doing it. Yes, I'm growing, or no, I'm not, right? So it becomes a very specific kind of energy. So I think it's always useful during Neptune retrograde to realign with the ideals or rethink of the ideals that you want to be guiding you at this particular time. Then we get a little bit further in the day, and first, the sun is going to come into a square with Jupiter. Now, I think that this can actually be really useful. I like squares because they put us under enough pressure that we need to take some kind of action to get out of the square. We don't want to be squished in that little box. So the sun is where we've got light, heat, life, and motivation. We're trying to do something. We're trying to be living our best lives over here. And Jupiter retrograde, Jupiter's not retrograde, not until July. Can you tell I did the July horoscopes? So we got Jupiter, who is also beaming in this energy of Aries. So you've got two very big energies who are willing to fight for their space coming against each other. So what you can be doing with this is, first of all, you can take that square and turn it into something positive, right? Where can you actually take big expansive energy that is maybe different than actions or beliefs or movements that you were using before, and this actually helps you to get something done? This is a very positive spin on being able to use that. Now, the other thing that you could do is be absolutely experiencing the shadow side of both of these planets. The sun feels like something or someone is trying to stop it from doing what it wants to do. You are in my way is what that energy can feel like, or you're annoying. This is annoying to me. And Jupiter gets righteous. This is the side of Jupiter that we don't love. It gets self-righteous. We become bigots. We become know-it-alls, right? All of these arrogant energies can come up. So depending on how you're experiencing that about mid-afternoon, you can see where you're at in that vibration of the sun and Jupiter rubbing up against each other. Now, just a little bit behind that, we're going to see the new moon happening at 7 degrees of Cancer. This is lovely, or it has the potential to be lovely, because we've got the new moon where the soil is super fertile. It is dark in the sky, so we're planting our seeds to begin something, but you're having to do it with like a childlike faith and intuition, right? But you plant, and remember, at the new moon, what you plant in this soil, for good or for ill, is what's going to blossom. Now, keep in mind the aspects that we've had in the days prior to this. So as we're winding down to this afternoon time and we've got this new moon coming up, what are you planting for good or for ill? Because for at least 4 weeks, you'll work through that energy, if not in your longer 19-year cycle, okay? Now, in the energy of Cancer at 7 degrees, which make sure you check your chart for 7 degrees of Cancer and where that is lighting up, we're going to be asking for things that support us. Where do you need to, or you'd like to call in or petition for support? Where would you like to begin something in your home, family, real estate, property, things that make you feel safe, ways that you feel protected and nurtured? Where would you like to take action to provide those things in your own life? These are going to be important themes and concepts that come up for us around this Cancerian energy. But don't forget that Cancer is a cardinal energy. So not only do you have this new moon, which is about these starts, these fresh starts, these beginnings, these planting of your next vision that will strive forward, but you're doing it in a cardinal energy, and that gives a lot of power. So you might be ready to go, you're ready to use this potent energy, but this moon is also going to hit a square with Jupiter. So what this can translate into is, yes, plant your seeds of intention to get bigger, to expand, to have what you need in your life, to create what you need in your life. But remember, with this square to Jupiter, you're not going to get it all on Tuesday, okay? This is probably going to be a process of baby stepping your way into it. And if we think of the pathway from the beginning of the week, where we've got this formation of a new identity that's present, and we're speaking that new identity into reality. Then we get hit with the Neptune retrograde. We have to see, am I in alignment with this reality that I'm trying to create, my ideals? Then I'm offered a fresh start, but I have to remember that I maybe can't do it all by Tuesday. I've got to baby step into that. I'm probably going to run into some self-doubt as I'm traveling along as well. So you can really use that square with Jupiter instead of being like, I got to have it all today. If the vision doesn't happen in 2 weeks, then it's all completely messed up. Instead, you can take it to that place of learning. Okay, I can plant my seeds of intention today and take baby steps to get exactly where I'm going, and enjoy the process along the way with enthusiasm. Jupiter is an enthusiastic energy, so try to enjoy that, okay? Now, later in the day, even after our moon comes, we're going to see Venus come into a sextile with Jupiter. So now we've got the benefics in a sextile to one another. Remember, when the planets have sex, that's good for us because it creates that pocket of opportunity and ease for us to easily work with that particular energy. Now we've got a fire and air sextile, and when fire and air come together, they like to be together because they help each other expand. So Venus and Jupiter may trigger for you throughout Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this understanding that in order to birth this next version of reality, this project, this home thing, this relationship, whatever it is for you, that there may need to be some significant investment on your part. Now, whether that is you're going to spend money, like I really want to get my business together, but I haven't bought a scheduler yet. It may be asking you to make that investment in a scheduler. But I also like Venus and Jupiter here because you can go for your lowest hanging fruit, right? Like, what's the easiest thing for you to access this week to make a positive change, to make an investment in yourself in some way, shape, or form? So these two are going to provide that ease of opportunity to be able to do it. And you may even find that if you need to purchase something and it's a bigger investment, you find it on sale, which I like that. I like sales. I like keeping money. I'm a big fan. I like keeping money and making money. Okay, when we get to Thursday, we're going to see the moon move into the energy of Leo. So from the inside out, now we've got this big cat energy, which I have to tell you as well, it's really funny because I know Leos, we're coming. It's almost your season. It's almost it's almost your time, but we're not there quite yet. And I came around the corner in a store in Arizona the other day to a series of big cat pictures that were for sale, and I was like, oh my goodness, Leo, just calm down, it's almost your time. So Leo, we see you, just not quite yet, okay? But with that big Leo energy, remember, you're living on fire, you're living in joy, we're living in big expression. The moon in Leo also gets very generous, right? So again, remember, you still got that Jupiter-Venus sextile, Venus-Jupiter sextile that is moving you along. So is somebody being generous? Are you being generous? You know, have you figured out that if you have some content that you give away, that it also helps you produce a customer base on the other side? Or you figured out if you put down what you think is so important and you do something with your children, you get more energy back at the end of the day. Like, what is it that is the exchange of energy that that big generous moon can live up to at this time? Okay, later in the day on Friday, this is where I really would love for you to start paying attention. Friday and Saturday are pay attention days for me. So we're going to have Mars, who's over in the energy of Aries, not going to move into Taurus until we get to the beginning of July. So we've got Mars in a square to Pluto, who's over in Capricorn and still retrograde. So this energy can get volatile. Okay, this particular square can just get volatile. It can get volatile. It can get violent. We've got Pluto also representing one of our social planets, right? So it's outer. So we all experience it. When we're looking at mundane astrology, we're going to look at countries and regions are also going to be taking a hit under that Pluto energy. So it is a day where we can even see explosive violence. Would love for that not to be the case. Now, in our own personal lives, where you can kind of pull this square down to make it useful, is what's coming up for you that feels like a fear. It feels like a distinct doubt that you have for yourself or in yourself. What's a trauma that's coming back to your table? But it is an energy that if you can identify that, you can transform it. You can use the square as impulsive, explosive power to make that transformation with what presents itself to you. But just as equally, it is a be more cautious day because it's a day where accidents are more likely to happen. People are just not paying attention because it's a consuming energy as well. So we're just not looking. So I would love for you to just pay a little bit more attention as we get later in the day on Friday. Now, moving into Saturday, we get Mercury, who is in the beginning of the day in a gorgeous trine to Saturn, who is retrograde. Okay, cool. So this is a conversation where there's a pocket of opportunity available. Perhaps what has happened is this Mars-Pluto energy has stirred you throughout everything else you experienced this week, and it has made you or put you in a position, offered you that doorway to walk through where you need to make some decisions about changes to your structure. Remember, we already at the beginning of the week took some action with Saturn, who was retrograde, and now we're making some different decisions with Saturn, who's retrograde. So it's over old things. This is not about new stuff. It's giving you a view of something backwards, and you can make those decisions. But when we get to Saturday evening, Mercury is going to hit at square with Neptune, who's just gone retrograde. So again, we're pulled into concepts or visions of the past plans. They've already been on the table and you're reviewing them. But Mercury-Neptune here is the delusion. Because it's Neptune that's retrograde and we get that concrete reality instead of being able to go to the daydreamy place, you may be hit with some harder truths where it's like, yeah, you are not doing fill in the blank, right? And this needs to be done if we're going to align that ideal. So remember, while this square cannot feel great, it's taken some of the delusion, confusion off the table and brought it down to ground a little bit so that you can do something with it. Now, of course, it is a square. So the shadow side of that can be, I feel like I don't have information. I feel like someone's lying to me. I feel like I can't tell what's going on. And if that's the case, if you're not sure, just pause for a second. The energy will move on. Mercury is a quick moving planet. It is not in retrograde. So give it a day or two, let that move on, and then you can make decisions maybe in a lot more solid ground. Of course, double check all of these aspects against your own chart, okay? Now, as we round out this week, we're going to spend the day on Sunday with the moon continuing to travel through that energy of Leo. We've got our big cat energy. So try and do something joyful if you can. Try and be a little dramatic in a good way if you can. Have that big food, have that big thing with your friends, social energy. But as we're coming into the evening and getting ready for our first full week of July, we actually slow down a bit with the moon moving into the energy of Virgo. So Sunday night moving into Monday morning, next Monday morning, you're going to find yourself being a lot more meticulous, wanting the health, wanting the very best that life has to offer, looking over the Virgo areas of your chart. As you guys know, I'm a Virgo rising, so as the moon every month comes through Virgo, I get to look at the ascending energy. Where does Virgo lie in your charts? These are the things you're going to want to consider because this is going to be this kind of lunar return to that area of your chart for the month. So get into the ushy-gushy details, and remember, Virgo is pristine at discernment. So what needs your discernment? What things are important to keep? What things are you ready to put down? Okay. All right, my beautiful friends, lots going on this week. Change, movement, some reality checks always available. That's just life. And we have definitely got movement going in the YouTube Academy. So please make sure that you go back, check out that class with Kathy Rose. You can also just go back and watch any of the classes because you liked them or because you missed them, whatever that looks like for you, or wherever you feel like you have gaps in your knowledge. The YouTube Academy is there to fill those in. And we will continue to bring our teachers back to sharpen our skills. And we've also got 3 new teachers on board who are going to bring us new classes. So can't wait to share those with you as well. If you need more information about it, you can click in the description box down below and go to the website, see the syllabus that's coming up. We've also got a recommended reading list of books and texts and all of the good stuff so that you can have your astro learning on point. All right, my absolutely beautiful friends, I love you a ton. Remember, check the description box for all of the dates and the transits that are happening this week. And I will see you guys next week, where I think I might be in Colorado. Hell, I don't know where I'll be. At this point, it's kind of like, where in the world is Stormie, San Diego? So wherever that's from, I'll be there with you guys, all right? All right, guys, I love you. Bye.